What if I told you the biggest bottleneck in data engineering, managing complex, brittle ETL pipelines, was just solved by a single feature? That feature is Delta Live Tables. Today, we are diving deep into why this isn't just an incremental update, but a complete paradigm shift for how data teams build production systems. Ditch Airflow. The future of data pipelines needs no orchestrator. You are stitching together fragile scripts, praying they hold overnight. This patchwork of cron jobs and scattered dashboards will fail, leaving you scrambling in the dark at 3 a.m. We have accepted this complexity as the cost of doing business. But it is a tax on your sanity and reliability. It is time for a fundamental shift. Imagine your data pipeline as a fragile house of cards. Every card is a script, a cron job, a dependency. One gust of wind, a single change in a source system, and the whole intricate, trembling structure collapses. Your business decisions are now buried under that rubble. You are not an engineer. You are a full-time card collector, rebuilding from scratch every single morning. This chaos is a choice. Then, you'd hit the refresh button, praying the dashboard would load, only to be met with stale or worse, wildly incorrect numbers. That sinking realization meant your most critical reports were now untrustworthy, a complete fiction built on broken data. And you couldn't tell your team why the forecasts were wrong. You did not even know where the pipeline silently failed. How many times have you had to pull engineers off their core projects just to babysit a data pipeline? That's the hidden cost of scale. You are not building for the future. You are becoming a full-time infrastructure manager. Your team's velocity grinds to a halt because the pipeline became the product, consuming all your most valuable talent. Stop wrestling with fragile pipelines. This solves the real problem. And the magic is, you never tell the system how to do it. You do not code the error handling, manage retries, or schedule dependencies. The platform interprets your declaration and automatically builds the most efficient, production-ready pipeline for you. It takes your intent and makes it real, with built-in reliability you can trust. Think about the last pipeline you wrestled with. Instead of drowning in error-handling scripts and dependency graphs, you simply declare what your data should look like. The system does the heavy lifting, translating your intent into an optimized execution engine. It is not just automation, it is a fundamental shift from managing infrastructure to defining outcomes. So you know what clean data is supposed to be. But what's the true cost of building all the how? What if you could simply define your expected outcomes, your gold standard tables, and let the platform guarantee they are met? That's the promise. You stop engineering workflows and start declaring your business logic. The system ensures it is always correct. Now, you do not tell the system how to run jobs, stitch steps, or restart failures. You simply declare the end state of your data. Write your SQL transformation, point to the source, and state the target quality. The platform owns the rest: execution, orchestration, and guarantees. The pipeline builds itself from your intent. Real ETL requires no code. This heresy powers billions of transactions. But you are thinking, sure, but who enforces those rules? The system does. Instantly. This isn't just documentation, it is a contract. When a new row arrives that breaks your expectation, say a duplicate customer_ID, the pipeline knows immediately. it fails that piece, not the whole job. Your data quality stops being a hope and starts being a guarantee. Think a pipeline failure means hours of cleanup? Not anymore. That failed record is isolated immediately, logged, and stored for your review. The rest of your data flows perfectly. You get a full report on what broke and why. Your pipeline self-heals, and your data lake stays pristine. This is operational peace you have never had before. But let's talk about that broken record. You do not just get an alert. You can inspect the exact data that caused the failure in context. Was it a null value, a formatting error? You see it instantly, fix the root cause, and replay only that record. Your pipeline isn't just telling you it broke, it is handing you the precise tool to fix it for good. And here's the clincher, this quality guardrail does not just pause your pipeline. It automatically quarantines the bad data, allowing all other valid records to continue processing uninterrupted. Your entire workflow isn't held hostage by one corrupted row. You maintain throughput while isolating the fault, so your core business logic always moves forward. Ditch the complexity. Modern ETL pipelines are already production ready. But how do you actually define a pipeline? Let me show you. With a few simple, declarative statements, you create the foundation. We will begin by pointing at a bucket of raw JSON data and telling the system, make this a queryable, live table. The pipeline is born. Watch. Now, let's give this table a purpose. We apply a simple rule, every row must have a valid timestamp. This single constraint transforms our raw data. Invalid records are quarantined automatically, delivering a clean, trustworthy stream for your analysts. You have just enforced your first data quality standard without writing any validation logic. This is the final mile. Your silver data is clean, so let's turn it into pure business intelligence. We will create a live, aggregated report that tracks daily performance metrics. This is your production-ready table, updated continuously, giving you immediate, trustworthy insights. Your pipeline is now delivering business value automatically. This is the power of DLT. Now, here's the magic. With one click, we deploy. Watch as DLT provisions the cluster, builds the pipeline, and launches the monitoring UI all automatically. Your transformed data begins flowing into that final report. The system is live, self-managing, and delivering insights. You have built a complete, production-grade pipeline. Zero orchestration code. This is the future, operational today. Stop building fragile pipelines that fail in production. Your pipelines are still built on hope. You pray the scheduler fires, that dependencies resolve, and that the next engineer understands your spaghetti code. Hope isn't a strategy. We are moving from coding infrastructure to simply declaring intent. The machine does the wiring. Your job shifts from plumber to architect. That's a fundamental power shift. Right now, your team's bandwidth is capped by its lowest skill. Junior engineers cause outages, seniors waste time fixing them. You are stuck. What if that entire operational layer just vanished? Your team stops babysitting jobs and starts solving real business problems. That's the strategic leverage. You are no longer just moving data, you are accelerating the entire organization. Look at the numbers. Teams using this approach have cut production incidents by over 70% and reduced time to insight by 60%. That's not incremental, it is transformative. You are eliminating the entire category of pipeline failures. Your team's potential is finally unlocked, shifting from constant firefighting to pure value creation. This is how you move from a cost center to the most strategic unit in the company. This is about trust. For the first time, your analysts can modify and extend pipelines with zero risk of breaking them, while your engineers have rock-solid confidence in deployment. That friction is gone. You've created a true shared language for data, where the complexity is handled for you. No more tribal knowledge, just pure velocity and trust. That is your new competitive advantage. Delta Live Tables replaces complex ETL orchestration with simple, declarative pipelines. It bakes data quality, monitoring, and lineage directly into the development process. Try defining your next transformation with a DLT at table decorator and see the difference.